I'm going to teach you how to make dandelion capers, from harvest to eating them, because they're tasty. This is the humble dandelion, perpetual weed of gardens and lawns that make homeowners angry, unless you know that you can eat them, and that right now, these little tiny buds in the center can be made into delicious caper substitutes for pickles. I'm just going around collecting the tiny rosettes. These will grow back. It is a non-issue. They are a taproot. They will be here forever. It's why people who try to have lawns hate them, but why people like me who love bees and who like eating free food and foraging are very big fans of them. So I'm just going around and cleaning up my dandelions. I'm letting a couple of them go to flower, mostly the ones that I have missed because I did not get out here and harvest them soon enough. The younger kind, not the younger, the better, but like there's some tiny wee ones, but that is perfect. This guy is a little too big, but I'm still gonna try to pickle him. Yeah, but so this is super easy. You go out, you pick these guys, you just root around looking for the buds in the center of the stalks, and you just snap them out, collect them. Then you rinse them out in some water just to get the sand and dirt off, and then once you drain them, you put them in a jar with a 2% salt solution for 7 to 10 days, depending on how pickled you want them to be. And then you have dandelion capers that will last in the fridge potentially forever. I don't know. I think I would be surprised if I don't eat them faster than I make them, because they're really good. They really do taste a bit like an artichoke heart. At least the ones that I have, which makes sense because they're in the sunflower family, and people use sunflower blossoms as artichoke heart replacements. And so I'm growing sunflowers this year to try and harvest the unopened buds and see if they're any good or any tasty. But that is in a couple months. Right now, we can enjoy these guys, and these guys are free. Who knows, maybe your neighbors would even thank you for doing this. But so there's lots of things that people do with the flowers, like making syrups and stuff, but this with the unopened buds, these pickles are super tasty, and I'm into them probably more than I should be. But yeah, like that guy is gonna open up, and so these will be left for the bees to eat, and then these guys are all for me to eat. So yeah, oh, see, beautiful. Like this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh God. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 buds that were ready, and then these guys will be ready next week. And I bet if I pulled more of these leaves back, I would find even more. But yeah, 30 off of one dandelion plant just in the center is pretty good. I'll take that. And yeah, so there's more here on the sides. Oh, yeah, but that is a good amount for a batch of pickles to make in a pint-sized jar. So yeah, I think I was gonna try to hit all my plants, but this little mother load, I think I'm done. I'm gonna go make some pickles. Put some water from the hose in there and letting them soak and clean themselves off a bit. We'll rinse these 2 or 3 times just to make sure there's not a bunch of nonsense, and then into a jar they will go. So these are the 3 stages: newly harvested, finished, and halfway there. So all I'm doing is making a 2% salt solution, putting the flowers in, covering them, putting a piece of plastic because I don't have a weight, and then putting more of the brine on top to keep the flowers fully submerged. So that's all we're doing. So I'm gonna double check and make sure that everybody's still in the pool, because if they're not, that can be a problem. You can get mold issues, but I think we are still okay. Yeah. That's all we're doing. Just take the dandelions with clean hands, of course. Put them in the jar. Entirely possible I have harvested too many. I totally harvested too many for this jar. So yeah, they don't fit. Ha ha ha. Alright, I need a bigger jar. Bigger container. Take 2. A little extra water just leaking onto a child's bus on the floor. That makes sense. But yeah, flowers for the bees, buds for me, and the greens I normally give to the chickens. So this is a new thing I'm doing this year. I'm super into it. Easy. Okay, so that is full of dandelion greens, or dandelion buds rather, and then all I do is so 250 milliliters of water. 1 teaspoon of salt, just regular table salt. My scale's battery died, so I would normally use the weight, right? The appropriate gram weight to make a 2% salt solution. But since my scale is broken, this will work. So I'm just going to stir that up. over. A little bit of saran wrap goes a long way. Just press down the top. And pour in the rest of your liquid to weigh it down. And if it's not doing the full press, you can just add a little bit more of regular water. But this is my cheapo, I don't have a stone weight hack to make sure that we really remove all of the air while it's fermenting. So these are not technically pickles, they are lacto-fermented. So they're fermented dandelions. And then just a ring and a lid on top. I need to go get them now. So that's that. It's just on top. Finger tight, right? Just like canning. And that will allow this to let any fermentation bubbles come out. If you don't leave enough headspace, you'll have spillage, which is what has happened with my ram's lap blossoms. So these were just packed too tightly because this was the jar that I bought specifically for them without realizing that I had harvested way too many. They smell really good and super crazy, tasty, but they have, I don't know if you can see the salt that's escaped and like solidified, right, like dried. So the brine has come out and then it gets dehydrated, right, like the water goes away and then you're just left with salt behind. So I've had to clean up salt in this cabinet once this process is done. I harvested those last Saturday. And then I'm just going to show you what a finished pickle looks like. Yeah, that's it. Just a little flower bud. I'm proof of tasty. They're super good. Kind of random, a little salty, but I like them. I'm into it. And they're free. And used 7 to 10 days. Good to go.